strut. So this result has gone through peer review. It is going to be published in JGR Planets in a couple of months, and this is the title for it if you're interested in looking it up. The lead author is Nilton Reno from the University of Michigan. Let me just skip this in the interest of time. Okay. So Phoenix went into safe mode on Sol 152. So these were the last images we actually got back from the lander. On Sol 149, this was a rack image taken of the TECP probe into the surface. This was a sunset we took on Sol 150. And finally, the last image we got back from the mission was on Sol 151. And on Sol 162, we actually got the last signal back. We kept going into this fault mode, or Lazarus mode, as we called it. And we had hoped to reestablish control of the spacecraft when we started to have problems on Sol 152. But on Sol 162, we finally got the last signal. So the mission was declared over on November 10, 2008. At the same time, Wired Magazine held an online Phoenix Epitaph contest. This was the winner, this Latin phrase, "For I came, I saw, I dug." Some of the other cute ones are, "What do you mean, one-way mission?" And then kind of a heartfelt one, "Every robotic lander dies, not every robotic lander truly lives." And of course, from 2010, "Will I Dream?" It is summarized a successful mission. We had our nominal 90 sol mission extended to 152 sols. We conducted science investigations on 149 out of the 152 sols, so that was really good. And really, for about a quarter of us on the team, this was a really great experience. Helped us get that monkey off our back for Mars Polar Lander. It was really vindication for all the work we had put in for instruments of these types and trying to make observations at a Martian polar area. We returned over 25,000 images. This is the final version of the mission success panorama. And you can see that they did go back and took the image that doesn't have the robotic arm in the way. But this was the final version of the image. And our first real big science results, the peer-reviewed science results, were published last month in Science Magazine. So that's the cover shown right here. Of course, there's a paper in there on all this water ice observations that we made. And also the TIGA team presented their arguments for the detection of calcium carbonates, which is a new thing on Mars, and also this perchlorate, which you may have heard about, that the MECA team detected, which is kind of an interesting salt that we hadn't expected to see. So I'm well out of time here, but time for a few questions? 2 questions?
Yeah. Dr. Gill even believes to this day he found life on Mars through his Viking label release experiment. Given what Phoenix has found this year, do you think he was right, or what do you reckon?
Well, it's too bad. I mean, like I showed you in one of the earlier charts, was Phoenix was intended to try to identify organics. What we found out after the fact, we were sort of unlucky, is that if we didn't detect any organics during the Phoenix mission, and even if there were organics there, it's likely that the presence of this perchlorate, either the magnesium perchlorate or the calcium perchlorate, would actually have destroyed the organics during the temperature ramp on the TIGA. So we sort of lucked out again in this quest to find organics on Mars. We were just unlucky.
You didn't mention anything about dust, and on the moon there was a considerable problem about that. Do you have any information about the dust when you got your soil samples?
In terms of its size, or
could you see? I mean, I didn't see any evidence of dust when you.
Well, we saw a lot of dust devils. We actually, which was really surprising. I mean, this is a really high latitude, where we landed, and we actually saw dust devils using the SSI. I think they saw 34 or 40 dust devils, and I think there are 2 or 3 instances where the temperature change was also indicative that a dust devil had gone directly over the lander.